Part one. Oh, there you go. There you go. Thank you, creator. There you go. Part two. And one more, part three. There you go. Part three. All right. Now I can do my video. All right. All right. I made it. Brethren, please bear with me while I approach the creator and ask him to help me. Please help me to do this video. Please, Jehovah, thank you for this opportunity and me and my brethren to get together and just spend a little time setting aside time for our own edification so we can gather around your word so that it may be written that we are brethren who want to take a little time out of our reality and we want to try to learn. We want to try to encourage one another. We want to let the angels know that we not only say, but we also want to do your light, share your light, rejoice in your light. And so, Creator, I just pray you help me to say something that it will really make brethren happy or encourage them. I pray you give me something unique to say that will keep them enduring, that will keep them rejoicing that they are who they are, that you've chosen them to be who they are, to be a light. And even though we might not at the current time see who we will be, help us to feel the inspiration and blessing that we are under while we're in this reality, taking advantage of the greatest opportunity known to mankind. So, Creator, I pray you make me invisible, but your voice will be heard, that you bless my video. Help me to do the absolute level best that I can for the short time that we're going to be on the video on the channel today. In your name, I give thanks. So let it be. All right, I'm here. All right, brethren, good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Let me see. Daryl's here, so I know he come looking for a paycheck. Somebody owe him some money. That's why the brother is here. Do one of y'all brother owe him some money? The brother come looking for a paycheck. Hey, bro, I got what you sent me, and thanks for that. And when I get it put into the, I'll send you a picture of it in the table of contents when I get it. When I make the entry in my book, I'll send you the screenshot of the uh, of the entry in my book. Elijah, Yaffa, Yaffa the Violent, Brethren, Asenath, of course, the great Asenath. It's good to see y'all, man. I hope that if um, to or if you brethren have anything that you want to share, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the room. Oh, we got Dave. We got Dave here. Maybe I might be able to get you brethren on the channel today and start talking about anything y'all want to talk about. Let me put the link in the room. You know, that's the purpose of the channel, man, is my whole desire is just to make it to where I really have I would like for, you know, how you go to other, you see like Zoom calls and it's a whole bunch of people on there and, you know, they talking with one another. And I really, that's what I want this channel to be. It hasn't really gone in that direction yet, but I have hope, man, you know, that it'll get there one day. I think the creator, he will help us. We moving. The creator is moving. I was looking at the video, looking at the social media today, and man, it's like, it's all kinds of incredible technological advances going on right now. Lately, I've been talking about the brother in Africa and how he channeled the free energy into a vehicle where you can drive it and it drives off the radio waves in the air, and how, you know, that, I mean, that's just the most stupendous thing that we have heard of that we ain't hearing of. I can see why American media don't want to pick up on that. The brother on February 10th, he rolled it out. So evidently it's now on the market. It hasn't reached us yet. It can't reach us. It can't, man, because it'll sink the whole economy. It'll sink it. You get brethren buying generators, bringing, you know, where it runs off of radio waves. Runs off of radio waves, man. In the air. See, you know what? It reminded me of something, man. It reminded me of something. Here's my mom's food ministry where I try to target orphans, disabled, and elderly, but I wouldn't turn away anybody, man, that was in need of charity. Here's my room on Facebook. My brother's got a room. Brother Omian's got a room where you can send him a friend invite as well and take part of the fellowship with faithists from around the world as we prepare for our unveiling, I would think, on the world. You know that the creator, that he has a purpose for us. I'm trying to bring up the other room, won't let me right now. Something wrong with this link for his other room. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. I'm just want to show you, if you're new to the channel, these are rooms where you can go to on Facebook where you can send a brother an invite and you can have fellowship with us. Let me see, am I even broadcasting? Yeah. So those are a couple of rooms. Now, in thinking about what I was sharing, what I've been sharing about, what I believe I've been led to share about inspiration-wise last couple of days, where the brother, he came up with, he harnessed energy, put it in the vehicle, and now it's on the market and we ain't hearing about it. It's too, you know, the implications of it are stupendous. It'll sink the whole world, economical infrastructure. It cleared up a lot of things in my mind. I mean, just the whole big picture of everything, the history of man and the reason, you know, what the creator is doing with them, how he, you know, what he's trying to show them. And it seems like the time has come. The creator is going to allow free energy to reach even everybody. You know, we're in the age of Pluto going into Aquarius. That means water for the world. Right, Fritz? Right, brother? Let's water for the world, man, you know, and the powers that be, they don't want to let go so easily. Would you? You know, the powers that be, you know, it's like in the world. Have you ever seen a guy in the world? Have you ever seen a guy, you know, and he has a girlfriend, you know, and he don't want to let her go? And it turns into an ugly situation, you know? I'm telling you, man, especially when they're young and they break up and oh man, I've been there. And one thing I'm so glad that I'm older now is I ain't never going back into that situation again, man. You know, a terrible time in the beast kingdom. Same thing in the world today, man. These people making incredible, they got videos of people out in the sticks, man, showing you free energy. You know, some guy's got a rotor, he's got a couple of pipes on the end of it, he's got some other things on the end of that, and he spins it, and the thing just keeps on spinning, you know, keeps spinning. There's your energy right there. You hook up whatever put some wires on it, and and there's your electricity. It's all over, man. The creator, I mean, it's an explosion going on. I only talked about the brother and the vehicle that he came up with because that's stupendous. That's too much, man. They can't let that come to market. That's why you brethren ain't really hearing about it. They just can't let, it's like they cannot let that girlfriend get out of the box. Free energy. The powers that be cannot let that girl go. If it mean chaining her to the house, it's the same way, man. The powers that be, they cannot let that get to the people. They cannot let that type of energy. And I suppose, man, that's just the start. The creator. Me and the sister was in the Bible study last night, Oahspe, and the discussion at the end of it, it was talking about the glory of the creator. One of the things that another one of the sisters brought out, and conversation turned to free energy, and how you can't prevent the creator, man. I remember the sister was talking last night, and she said that you even see a plant grow out of concrete, and she was likening it to the you cannot defeat the creator, and we got the same thing going on now, and we got these first little raindrops of the creator. He giving power to the people. The thing that crossed my mind, we was in the Bible study last night, and I should put that link in the now I should have long put that link in the description box. You can go to the description box and get all kinds of information. I got my brethren listed there. Y'all know Brother Malachi put out a book. I got that link in the description box. I got to put this in there too. I should start featuring it. Where if you brethren want to join in, you say you ain't got nothing to do on a Wednesday, and you want to get with other brethren, I'm going to try to blow up that Bible study, man. I'm going to try to help, this information right here. I got to put that in the description box. If you ain't got nothing to do on a Wednesday, there's that number right there. You call that number 5:30 Pacific Eastern, or no, wait a minute, Eastern Standard Time. Why don't you, brother, join us, man? Let's build it up. I like to go there to support it, and plus you got some older faith that's in there. Older faiths. One of the brethren brought out a good point last night about how the Oahspe, and his sister came out and said the Oahspe said don't take vaccinations, and and the brother came and cleared it up for me, and because I was thinking the same thing, like, man, we never should have took them there. They never should be taken, and that's not true. The brother pointed out that there was a time when they were created for good, but in our day, they're created for evil. Here's a number here where you can make a note of it, and Wednesday at 5:30. I'm going to remind this on Tuesday. I'm going to try to remind this. I'm going to put it in the description box. I'm going to try to build up that little study. Get you brethren coming in there, and let's, they have good discussions, and it's edifying. And we here trying to take advantage of we trying to get ourselves built up. That's my only reason for this channel here, is so that, we can have, the world ain't going to have the world ain't going to try to build us up. If we don't do it, who's going to try? We need to try to, get together with ourselves, man. Now, I wanted to go to my room real quick, and there was something that I wanted to share real quick about, with this free energy thing. I guess that's on my mind, so I guess I could just say a quick word about what the creator seems to be giving me right now. He made me look at the Oahspe, man. He made me, and shoot, I forgot to finish what I was saying about the vaccinations. There was a time when it was for good. They did a lot of good, vaccinations. We living in a time when they're for evil. I want to figure out a way to try to qualify that. The current, you got to be careful too, because here on YouTube, you get a strike, they'll shut down your channel if you don't go with the program. And we know that the creator, he talks about that, how vaccines will be full of poison. It says that in the Oahspe. You probably know that, right? But back then, they did good. They were for good. Those vaccinations and stuff. It was for a good work. But in our day and age, there's an agenda behind it. I can't really start talking about that because they'll shut me down. Even though they don't, my channel, nobody knows about it. They'll find you. They'll find you, man. And if you're going against an agenda, you will get shut down. Now, I wanted to show some scriptures that, in thinking about the whole free energy thing, that it helped me to see the creator in a new way, And I want to find that. I want to find some verses that I wanted to share with y'all. There's one that's on my mind. I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find this one particular verse where it basically say the creator is everywhere, man. He's everywhere. That's the one that I was looking for here on my channel here. You see, Daryl, he's got something. He says, yeah. Oahspe says that the vaccines are the battle axe of Satan. Yeah. I don't think that's always been the case. But I think that in our day and age, that's what it's talking about. Because there's an agenda behind it. But that was one of the good things about the Bible study last night, There's older brethren in that Bible study. Hey, Snap, man, they really seem to take a liking to you. I bet you they pray you keep coming around, You seem to add a little light to that Bible study, Snap. As you can tell, my mind is to sit and listen nowadays, because, man, when you got wisdom in the room, you just got to sit and listen and let them talk, and they will bless you. Now, I'm trying to find that verse. I think this is it right here. But all good things are accomplished by the living presence of the creator. Now, there's another verse, too, that I wanted to share with y'all, where it talks about how the creator is everywhere. Everywhere. And so when you're talking about like free energy, it just, I don't know how to say it. It had to be that men would eventually figure out that the creator he's life, he's energy, he's all these things, and he can be tapped into. And now the brother in Africa, Zimbabwe, he's come up with this technology. Now, it could be a fraud. I forgot to mention it. It could be a fraud. He could be perpetrating a fraud. Now, I don't know how that could be. Engineers verifying, yeah, he did it. He created it. We saw that micro energy device that he's talking about. And the guy, he's got something theory-wise. See, and you know what I learned? He can't get a patent because the kingdom of man says, no, you violated our laws. I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm getting too many downloads to talk about, and I can't keep up. I wanted to show y'all where the creator, he says in the Oahspe that when you talk about divine law and natural law, you sin against the creator. You know that? Here it is right here. But there is no divine law, nor is there natural law. See? The brother who I was talking about created, harnessed the free energy in a vehicle to where you could drive it and it powers itself off of the radio waves in the air. He said they wouldn't give him a patent because you violate natural law. Divine law. They call it man, the kingdom of man calls it divine law. Creator says that's putting the creator far away. No, man, you violated our laws. We ain't going to give you no patent, man. No, Creator says there is no divine law, nor is there natural law. There's only the creator. And so when you take that principle and you think about it, it's only natural. It had to be that somebody, the creator, would give somebody some wisdom to see how they could tap into that. It just so happens that now he's doing it. There's a big increase in technological advancements going on in this day and age because Pluto has now gone into Aquarius. Brethren, the creator is moving. I'm telling you, man, the creator is moving. Has been moving, man. And the kingdom of man is not going to be able to frustrate. He's not going to be able to frustrate keeping the knowledge and application of free energy for the people forever. He's not going to be able to subdue it forever. He knows that when it gets out and it gets mass produced, then that's the end of the tyranny. It's the end of monarchies. It's the end of republics. It's the end of whatever you want to call it, where man takes power and gives it to himself so that he may rule over his brethren, because he makes us all in bondage to money, wage, and debt. He makes us all money, wage, and debt slaves. That's been his whole power. All these, our whole history. That's been his whole power. Keep you in slavery, keep you in wage slavery and debt slavery. You never make enough. You're always surviving. Most people barely, and you look at Africa, man, me and Asa, I should force you to get on. You know that, right? And talk about what we was talking about. I looked at what you sent me. The thing that came to my mind with that map you sent me of Africa and how its crown was removed, signifying the things that have been done to Africa by the northern nations and subduing it. I immediately looked at the boot, Italy, the boot that's right on the top of the skull of North Africa. It just seemed to strike me that has some significance to the head. See, me and Ace had a powerful conversation, man. I mean, the creator. I mean, me and the sister had a powerful conversation. Centering around what has been done to Africa. Looking at Africa, I have a better perspective. Did you know that those are the people? Those are children of the creator too. Did you know that? Do you know that they belong to the creator? Now, I know I sound kooky. I know that. But I grew up being taught to look down on them. You know what I mean? Look down on them. They ain't worth nothing. It's just a bunch of mud puppies. Every time you see them on the TV, you know what I mean? Barefooted, dirty, flies all around them. That's what I was taught. And then I became I became a Hebrew Israelite, and it was it was even worse. The way they was taught to look down on them. You know what I mean? Taught to look down on our own kind, and really everybody is our own kind. You know what I mean? Right, Elizabeth? The way that we have been taught, I mean, the way that we teach ourselves to look down on our brother, you know. And it was worse when I was a Hebrew Israelite, looking down on the Africans. And it just so turns out, I could be wrong, but it seems like it would be, the plan of the creator, man, you know, those are his people too. Those are his people too. And I was taught to look down on them. Now, I know they ain't perfect. You know what I mean? I know they're not perfect. None of us are, you know. And the media taught me, these are just throwaway people. You know, they backwards, and look at them. They ain't never developed. They barely know what a cup of water is, you know. And now the creator, with what he's doing in that country, it seems to be that the creator is saying, time is up. I'm going to make that continent the head and not the tail anymore. And I'm going to make all you nations look at how you have looked down on your brother. I'm going to make you all look, I'm going to make all of you look down. I'm going to make all of you look and repent because of what you have done to your brother. How you subjugated him, how you went in, you stole his resources, his minerals. You went and made him, you took his resources, and then you processed it and then sold it back to him at a profit. The colonialism. And for the longest time, the whole world was looking down on these people. And it just seems to me that the plan of the creator is to take the people that have been historically looked down upon and to teach the whole world a lesson about your evil heart. Your wicked, evil heart. Your wicked, evil heart, man. You know, there's a verse in the Bible where it talks about our wood they sold to us, our water we paid for, or something like that. See, you know, the creator, let me see. I wonder if I can find that. I'd like to find that and commit it to memory. I'm only mentioning it because the creator, I don't see the creator withholding anything good for his children. Our water was sold to us. Our wood we purchased. King James Version. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Now, that only comes to mind. It's time for the soul confirmations. How do you like that? The time, and thank you, Elizabeth. Next week, we're going to do it differently. We're going to do one so that if you brother can't make it, you know, you're going to know that we're going to be doing the same soul confirmation for the whole week. So we're going to really pound it into our spirit. Next week, Monday, if I remember. If Elizabeth will remind me, we doing one soul confirmation for the whole week. We're going to drive it into our spirit. We're going to just drive it, cement it into our spirit. For now, we're going to keep doing it the way we've been doing it, at least till tomorrow. It's time for the soul confirmation, so let's do that. See, that's the problem, man. I was, now I'm going to forget what I was talking about. It's like sometimes, especially since I got this coffee, it seemed like the downloads, they speed up, what to talk about. if anybody's new to the channel here, just read the left-hand side of the screen. Read it slow, read it, and think about your soul. Hey, Snap, I haven't had a chance to look at that video yet, but I will. But also, if you want to come on and talk about it, you can do that too. Tell the rest of the brethren. Sister sent me a video on the power of the soul. So if you're new to the room, you come in, read this left-hand side of the screen, and learn to value your soul. We haven't really been taught that. So what we're going to do here, so read that, think about your soul, stop the video, read that. And you're going to be able to you're going to catch up to speed. You'll be up to speed as to why we're doing what I'm getting ready to do with the brethren here. Okay, so we're going to do this one. The last one. The last one on the right-hand side of the screen, we're going to repeat it 3 times on 3, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. My soul serene intelligence suffuses my conscious mind. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul's serene intelligence suffuses my conscious mind. Again, 1, 2, 3. My soul's serene intelligence suffuses my conscious mind. And that is the soul confirmation for the beginning of the video on February 13th, 2025. Let's see what that word suffuses mean real quick. Suffuses. Definition of suffuses. It means to spread, to permeate, to cover, to bathe, to pervade. So when we read the soul confirmation, it says, my soul's serene intelligence, it permeates. Oh, I got to share the tab real quick. It says, it permeates, it spreads, it diffuses, is that a word that it used? Spread over, spread throughout, cover, bathe, pervades, it permeates my conscious mind, my soul's serene intelligence. It spreads, it covers, it permeates my conscious mind. All right, so let's get back. Let me see if I can get back and remember what it was that I was talking about. And let me see. Shahir or Asnet has got the link here. The video, I think it's the power of the soul. Power of the soul. So I forgot what. Oh, I forgot the subject matter that I was on. Let me see if I can remember. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. And I'm only bringing it up because now it is the Bible, and the Creator does not claim it as his word, but he can certainly use it. Certainly can use it. And I think this passage is pretty interesting because it's showing you that the will of the Creator was never for us to drink water for money or for wood to be sold unto us. But then when you hand it over to the kingdom of men, immediately he takes it and he figures out a way to control the means of production so that he may put his brother in slavery. And so if you ask me, I like to shorten things. I like to condense things. So for the sake of overstanding, our whole experience, one of the biggest things is captivity. We've been made slaves and bondage. And I've been talking about what I see has been happening to Africa. I think there's a big lesson behind it. And I think now the creator in this day and age is going to make it take its place as head of nations. That continent is the richest continent in the whole world for natural resources. You know that, right? You brethren know that. Let me see. Daryl's got something. He says, he says, you ever heard the track by Mos Def called New World Water? No, I'm too old, brother. I'm not. No, brother. No, brother. I don't know who Mos Def is. But I imagine that he got a message and that's why you're sharing it. If you want, brother, you can click on the link, come on and tell the brethren about it. I imagine the brother's got a message behind that. It sounds like there's a message in that song. But just trying to make a point, man, that it seems like we're in this situation now. And, the confluence of events, I think that Faithists have been preparing for a while. And I hope that I don't sound kooky, but I think that they have been preparing to come on the world stage. I believe the creator will only trust them with the free energy and the dispensing of it, the administering of it. I don't know. It just seems like that's the plan of the creator for me. It's like he calls out a people, he gets them ready, he starts preparing them, and then he gives this water, he gives this knowledge to the world, and then he raises up. See, because when you read like the Oahspe, you see how a God, he'll be assigned to the earth, and then he gets his administration together, just like when they elect a new president. And then he has a cabinet. He has a cabinet and they cover a department. Now, I don't want to sound kooky, but I think that the creator, that he administers similar to that. It's like, I don't see how he would just raise up anybody haphazardly. I think that there's a people, he calls them, they come, they learn, they prepare, and then time for them to take responsibility. Time for them to take responsibility. Now, I could be wrong in the way I'm saying this. I'm just trying to look at the big picture of things. I think the kingdom of man has had its run. I think the creator he's rolling out free energy so that we can get out of slavery and bondage, and that we can make strides towards the kingdom of light, because we can't never really be free until we get out of slavery and bondage. Let me see. ASNAP's got something here. Jay-Z sponsors Water for Africa. Okay, you brother are talking about something I got no clue about. So, but the big plan, the plan of the creator, on this channel here, I like to try to see the big picture. I like to try to see the big picture. I think, this channels like this and other faithist channels like my brethren in the description area, this is the only message, brethren, that will endure. Like it or not, this is the only message. The faithist message. It carries hope. It carries wisdom. It carries blessing. It carries knowledge. But primarily, the faith message, it carries, what's a good word for blessing? It's the only message that will endure. It's the only message that will endure. It's the only message that has legs, even though it's really very, it's you know what I mean? It's very obscure. I can see parallels with the way the creator does things and the way the world does things, so far as people that are raised up. I mean, on the world stage, it's like there are people at times they're raised up, they seem to come from out of nowhere, and they've been preparing all their life. And it seems to be the same way with the faithists. And you look at the world and you see where people, I always talk about this a lot. I kind of get a kick out of sharing with y'all how when you are, I got to be careful. I don't want to, I'm going to just have to say it. When you're, I don't want to say it that way. When you're called to a great calling, it seems a great sacrifice has to go along with that. A great sacrifice must go along with that too. And that's the situation. That's the situation that we are in. Let me share some more verses from the room that I have. My room on Facebook. There is no divine law. There is no divine law, man. And man, he loves to sign his law and he shuts out the creator. And I was talking earlier about the brother with the design, the free energy that he harnessed and put and is using it for the vehicle that that he recently began to uh, introduce to the world. And they basically told him, since you don't subscribe to, since you are breaking natural law, then there's no way we can give you a patent to protect your invention. It's like man is saying, since you're doing something that we can't understand, then we can't grant you a license that will allow you to profit off of your ideas. You're doing something we don't understand. You're breaking all the laws. So therefore, there must be something wrong with what you have come up with, even though it works. Even though it works, since you have done something and we don't understand it, then we can't grant you a license to. And that's really what I'm paraphrasing. Let me see, Dave's got something. He says, yeah. Hey, Dave, how long did it take you before you could go to your Tante? Hey, Charisse. Sister? How long did it take you, Dave? Because I think I remember you saying it took you like a year or more. And I'm already trying to go down that path. I've been trying to go down that path at night now. I'm trying to do things so I can go out of body like that. I can't say I'm making any progress. So one night I thought I did, but since then I haven't really been getting anywhere. How long did you say it took you, Dave? When you get a chance to answer that. So anyway, let's look at some more things I got here. Oh, okay. Here's something else. and jumping in the middle of the thought, the Oahspe, and going along with how man, he says, he calls his understanding, he'll call some of his understanding law. Like, this is the highest, this is the ultimate possibility concerning this thing. It can't be anything greater than this. So he calls it law. Now, this is just another verse. I jumped in the middle of a text in posting this. It says, to which end you shall put away all terms such as divine law and natural law. And we hear that a lot in our reality. Divine law, natural law. I even think Mother Nature is one. Isn't that another one that is like a substitute for men's law? And the Creator says, you use terms like this and you put them away. It's an excuse that you use to put the Creator at a distance. You put him at a distance doing stuff like this. You attribute it to yourself. For I say unto you, I say unto you cunningly, they have interpreted the revelations of heaven so as to open the door to unrighteous teaching. By saying such and such things are done by divine law instead of being done by the actual presence of the Creator. See, Daryl, he's got something. Daryl said, right. Law was created as an idol for men and angels to lean on as a way to understand the Creator's mechanisms. Okay. How do you like that? That's interesting. He said law was created as an idol for men and angels to lean on as a way to understand the Creator's mechanism. So it was like a crutch to bring us to cosmic, would you say, brother? The Creator, he allowed it, just like he allowed the beast kingdom, give men something to lean on until he brought them to maturity. That's pretty tight, man. See, Dave said, oh, man. He said it took him around 5 or 6 years to go out of body. Good night, man. 5 or 6 years. He said around 5 to 6 years or so. Trying different methods from different books and study guides. Oh, man, I ain't gonna never make it. Oh, no. Oh, 5 or 6 years. And he tried different methods from different books and study guides. Oh, man. Help me, Jovi. And Daryl said, but the reason why Creator doesn't do by law is because it doesn't do by it, because it doesn't do by law. It does by virtue of his presence. I can understand that. But the reason why Creator doesn't do by law is because law doesn't do by law. It does by virtue of and I would substitute that, the Creator's presence, its presence. If I may, Daryl, correct me if I'm wrong. And Cherie says, that's why I have been so busy taking care of children that had a bad reaction to vaccines. If I'm not mistaken, the Oahspe, matter of fact, yeah, Daryl, matter of fact, I should find that. Go ahead and find that. He said that was called the battle axe of Satan. I remember that. About vaccines? Yep. He said, Oahspe say the vaccines are the battle axe of Satan. Yeah, I'm going to find that. I might as well go ahead and find that. I'd like to find that. Let me go ahead. I'd like to I'd like to read that. Okay, I'm not looking at the screen. I'm bringing up the Oahspe, so I can't see the chat. Yeah, it's verses like that, man, that really show you the difference between the creator and the kingdom of man. I mean, you can see the corruption that we are under. I mean, there was a time when they were good. They did good. They were, I mean, polio vaccine and chicken pox, I think. And there was a time when they served man, but there's a difference between when they serve men and when they don't serve men. And presently, they have an agenda behind the current, and I'll use the word that Daryl used, battle axe, or what the Oahspe uses. See, there's an agenda in our world now. You brother know that. I know I ain't saying nothing you don't already know, man. There is an agenda, and it's the powers that be do not want to let dominion go. They cannot let that girlfriend go, man. I remember, and I'm saying it like that. I remember when that happened to me, letting a girlfriend go and then seeing her in somebody else's arms. Man, I'm telling you, that is a killer. You know that? And I'm appealing to our feelings and emotions to try to get my point across, you know, about what men are doing now, how the pain they must be in. That the creator is like, he's saying, like what Asaph said the other night about the creator. He shows us his greatness, but he bears with men. He doesn't just wipe him out in an instant. He bears with man. And now he's brought men to a state, a time, a place where the creator is like, he says, that's enough. I want you to stop oppressing your brethren. I want you to stop it. Stop. You know how a parent will tell the children, now you make sure you share with your brother. You share here. I'm giving this to you. Take this and share it with your brother. Now, if you yikwab, you're going to eat the whole thing, right? No. But it's just like the kingdom of men. You won't share with your. Anytime you got brethren who can't make it, they can't survive, they can't live. You know what I mean? See, Daryl said it was cosmogony 815. Okay. It's the same. It's the creator. It's the same way. It's like he let us. It's like sometimes a child, they seem to say, let me do it. Let me do it. I can do it. I can do it. And the parent says, okay, go ahead. And then the child can't do it. And then the parent finally steps in and does it. And it seems like that's where we're at in the history of man. It's like the creator is like he's said, like, you can't do it. You can't rule over your brethren. You oppress your brother. Now I have to step in. I have to take it away from you. I'm going to take the bondage. I'm going to break it. I'm going to let my people go free from your dominion. Now, I just think free energy is just one step of the first. I think that healing is on the horizon. I've seen a video today, man. The Japanese or Chinese, they created something as human-like as you can get. As human-like as you can get, man. I mean, they showed this doll. They showed this robot that looked like a human. It had the flesh. It had the, I mean, all the, I mean, the technology. Verse 15. Yep, the inoculation or vaccination of flesh with poison vaccines is to save it from poison, is to use the battle axe of Satan. And I remember when I was heavy into looking at when the vaccines came out, remember around 2019, and I saw what they put in it, or I saw videos, and it was demonic stuff. It's all I remember. And then I remember coming across this too in Oahspe, and that was like the clincher. It said, "Man shall learn the higher law to save by virtue instead of vice." But now it's different. It seems like man, he wants to save by force instead of virtue. He's trying to use force in place of virtue to make his world better. Let me see. Asa says the free energy will align our chakras, and that's the rapture. Now she uses that word rapture. I think she's as if to say transformation, uh, more like a not like a taking away, like the Christian rapture. We see Daryl. He said, "See, Asenath said the Tartarian Empire was destroyed for free energy." Also, Tesla. Yeah, it seems the creator is making it clear now. From a long time, it seems that the creator, he had given the knowledge to break the bondage. And the kingdom of men were able to subdue it or prevent it or delay it. And it seems that now the creator is saying the time has come. It seems as if he waited until Pluto went to Aquarius and the advancements were going to be such that no false god or government was going to be able to prevent it, because we are certainly on the roll now. And I think that right now, you got free energy, and I think next on the horizon, when you come out with remedy for pain and injury, I mean, when you come out with a remedy for healing, pain and healing, you come out with a solid remedy for that, I think it's game over. It's game over. It's game over. I think that that's what is on the horizon. I could be wrong. I can't really think of anything in the Oahspe that comes to my mind, but you got to know that that's on the horizon. You got to know that that's on the horizon. You see, Asenath said the Tartarian Empire was destroyed for free energy. Also, Tesla. Tartarian, is that I want to say I can vaguely remember that term, Tartarian, I think. Who was that in other terms? See, Daryl said it's also backing up how before when I said the creator does by virtue. Two birds with one stone, not like the Bible rapture vice viscous. Man shall learn the higher law to save by virtue instead of vice. That's the higher law, to save by virtue instead of vice. So you cannot save by bombing and war fighting and gun shooting. Man shall learn the higher law, which is to save by virtue instead of vice. The higher law, to save by virtue instead of vice. All right, it's time for the reading of the word. Let's do the reading of the word. The reading of the word, the name of the video is called Daily Meditations from Radiance Anthology. So let's see what the creator gives us here. Called Daily Meditations from Radiance Anthology. Well, let's see if we can get a blessing out of this. All right, may the creator bless the reading of his word. This is called Daily Meditations. It was first published in 1930. It says, in the universal mind in which we all live, move, and have our being, we are all but parts of a united whole. While we are living in the sense of separateness, we are unhappy and unhelpful to one another. But as we give to one another and receive from one another of an ever-increasing bounty and helpfulness, we're fulfilling the law of reciprocity. We have found happiness in mutual service. Man, talk to me. Oh, don't let me get excited, please, creator. Don't let me act kooky, please. We have found happiness in mutual service and know something of joy, something of the joy that the angels know. We have found happiness in mutual service and know something of the joy that the angels know. As we blend into a mighty unity in the spirit of love, someone you love may be sick, or a friend may be suffering from depression. That's me. I suffer from depression. I have depression. I should admit that. In the morning, man, I have terrible depression in the morning. Terrible depression. Someone you love, man, I'm going to have to read Brother Malachi's book, man. His link is in the description area. Brother Malachi's book. Someone you love may be sick, or a friend may be suffering from depression, for whom you can sustain a thought for this day. By so doing, you will discover that it makes the thought more vivid and powerful in your mind to think of it as true for another person. Let's see. So let's chew on that. They say by empathizing with somebody, it's like you can intervene in this situation, is what he's saying here. He's saying by you having empathy for your brother, empathize with your brother. And it's kind of like you can take over. It's like you can be a co-pilot, Say the pilot is incapacitated. And that's when the co-pilot has to jump in and take over. It seems like that's what they're saying here. So you become a co-pilot for your brother. See? Sharice says, I did after my mom was murdered. Oh, man, Sharice, you be body blowing me to death, man. Sharice said, meaning she had depression. I did after my mom was murdered when I was 15. How do you like that? Wow, brother. Yeah, sorry me too. With Daryl, I agree with him. Yeah. By so doing, you will discover that it makes the thought more vivid and powerful in your mind to think of it as true for another person. While you repeat the following affirmation. Okay, so they're telling us to repeat the following affirmation. As the clock strikes each hour this day, empower it by repeating it for someone you desire to uplift or heal. Okay, so let's say it one time and have somebody in mind that you're doing the soul affirmation for. Have somebody in your mind that you're doing this for as well as yourself. So let's do the soul affirmation on 3. 1, 2, 3. You are the temple of the living creator, whose mighty spirit dwells within your soul. That one mind can think a thought or generate an emotion which will have an influence over another mind situated at a distance seems too marvelous a fact to be believed. Saying that this is a power we don't know about. Creator's saying you can have an effect on somebody's situation. Distance don't matter. Creator, or this is saying that that one mind can think, you can think a thought or generate an emotion which will have an influence over another mind situated at a distance. Seems too marvelous a fact to be believed. See, this is a power we don't know about. We should think about this, brother. You know that? See, Daryl says something. He says, send this page of text to my messenger, please. Oh, okay. Okay. Do you got Radiance Anthology, bro? This is Radiance Anthology. Okay, after the video, I'll send it to you. See? That's something else. It says, but it is based upon the spiritual truth that minds are not separate. Hey, Daryl, look in the description area. And I got the directions on how they send it to you, the Eloists. They send it to you for free. The Eloists, look in the description area. And it'll give you shipping instructions. They do it for free, bro. This book is as big as the Oahspe. It's as big as the Oahspe. I can't believe this book, man. It says, but it is based upon, let me read it again. It says that one mind can think a thought or generate an emotion which will have an influence. See, women know something. You know? Women, I'm telling you. Do you know that one time I had a cancer girlfriend? Oh, wait a minute. Daryl says they wouldn't do it to me because I never purchased their print. Oh, no. No, really? Well, brother, purchase their print. Purchase it. Purchase their print, man. And then, because what happens is when you purchase their print, then they send along with that print the option to have Radiance Anthology sent to you. Look at that information, man. Send them an email. That don't sound right to me. That just don't sound right to me, man. Send them an email and tell them you want one. Okay, I will. Let me see. I was saying something. So here it says that one mind can think of that. Oh yeah. I remember I had a cancer girlfriend once. I'm telling you, man, see what we talking about right here? It says that one mind can think a thought or generate an emotion which will have an influence over another mind situated at a distance seems too marvelous a fact to be believed. That happened to me once. I had a girlfriend and she was a Cancer. See, she was spiritual like this. And one time, do you know, I showed up at her door and her friends, do you know, they started freaking out. And then when I got inside, they said they told their friends told me that my girlfriend, she had told them that she was going to make me come there or something like that. She said you know what I mean? See, now that's I don't know about that type of stuff. That's kind of scary, man, you know? Because I remember like some sisters dealt with Ouija boards. See? Now, at that time, I didn't know what to think of it. You see what I'm saying? I walked in the door, I knocked on the door, and then I came in, and they started freaking out. And when I wanted to know what was going on, they said that my girlfriend had I don't she I don't know how she said that, or she, you know what I mean? She said she did something that was going to make me come there. Now, that's why when I read this, that's what comes to my mind. That one mind can think a thought or generate an emotion, which will have an influence over another mind situated at a distance. You know, I can see how this can be dangerous too. You know what I mean? You know, this could be some dangerous stuff. But it is based upon the spiritual truth that minds are not separate, but are surrounded by and united in the universal mind, of which each one is an organized part. We are living in an invisible ocean of mind, and through this ocean, our thought waves proceed to the one to whom they are directed. Yeah, Dave, a telepathic summoning. That's what she did to me. That freaked me out, man. You know? That trips me. That's one of the few things I can remember. We are living in an invisible ocean of mind, and through this ocean, our thought waves proceed to one to whom they are directed. Just as the radio waves vibrate just as radio waves vibrate out from the transmitter to the receiver situated at a distance of thousands of miles. As it is possible to send electrical impulses through space without wires, so may we send through thought impulses from one mind to another, no matter how far apart they may be. But how come it didn't work for me when one particular girlfriend I had, I wanted her to call me? And I was telling her to call me. How come it didn't work for me? I was telling her to call me telepathically. Why didn't it work for me? Cherie says, I have a lot of evil Christian witches in my family. I have a lot of evil Christian witches in my family. The Creator broke the hex and gave me a son. I was hexed to, I wouldn't say that, sis. That don't sound right for a faithist to say that. I could be wrong, but you know, I don't sound right to me. I was hexed. I don't know about that one. And then Daryl says telepathic subject. That's in the book of Light, Lika. Man, let's look at it real quick. Book of Lika, 6:5. Let's check it out real quick. But how come that ex didn't call me when I did telepathic summoning? How come it didn't work for me? Book of Lika, 6:5. Why didn't it work for me? To the Corporean, I gave two kinds of. To the Corporean, to the Corporean, I gave two kinds of presence: objective and subjective. To the Corporean, that's us. By the latter, he can imagine himself. Oh wow! Oh man! Oh my goodness, man! Oh, you killing me! Oh, don't let me get excited. Please, don't let me get excited. I don't want to get excited, man. I'm drinking this coffee. You know, I got. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, wow, wow. I'm gonna have to ban Daryl. That's it, man. I have to ban that brother. I got him, and he's a fellow Libra. I gotta ban him, man. He's gonna send me to an early grave, man. The brother's gonna send me to an early grave. To the corporean, I gave two kinds of presence: objective and subjective. Think about that. He gave you a objective and a subjective vibration, meaning you can, like Dave, he can transport himself. See, you can do it. We can do it too. See, Dave said, not only do you have to think it, he said you have to visual it happening in real time. Yeah, that's what I did the other night. I visualized it. And then I I felt I can't even describe it, man. I was moving towards them. I was moving towards I seen some people. I seemed to see the peace and the harmony and the love. And it was no, I can't say. I just have to wait until I just have to keep going, man. But I do know something. I think something was going on. To the corporean, I gave two kinds of presence: objective and subjective. It says by the latter, look at this. He can imagine himself in a far off place. And the thought that proceeds out of him goes to a friend and speaks understandingly in the distance. But why don't they respond? Huh? When you do that, it says, for I created him so. But he who goes objectively must take his person with him, for I also created him so. And then he says, and I magnified these two conditions in the spiritual law man. So they can also appear objectively and subjectively in the places known. Oh man. Oh my goodness, man. It says, and this is the bondage I created to all places on the earth and in the heaven, making all men understand the power of objective association. I created wide seas on the corporeal earth so man would perceive that one person alone could not cross over, nor in a small boat, with any profit under the sun. Neither did I create my heavens and the firmament so that one angel could go along on a long journey, becoming isolated and powerless. But I provided them in such a way that they could not escape association. Yes, I created the firmament so that they must congregate together and go. Will you listen? Will you listen? Will you listen? See, this is answered prayer. Now that I think about it, answered prayer, answered prayer, answered prayer. Oh man, this is see. Oh, Jehovah, don't let me get kooky. This is answered prayer. I was up, and I'm gonna share it. I was up last night praying, asking that I could say something, and I asked for me not to say it. Now, this is what I did last night. I asked for me not to say it. And Daryl is being used because my prayer was I wanted to be invisible and let the Creator say it. If you, brother, could see where I'm trying to come from, I wanted no part in His glory. I wanted no part in His glory. I wanted Him to, that's what I was praying last night. And then before I came on video, I asked something again like, will you please give me something to share? Now, not me though. And as it turns out, He's using Daryl to share this mind-blowing stuff. This is an incredible blessing. This is just out of this world. See, because you brethren here, look at it. This is a promise to you. When you look at this, you mean I'm the only one excited? Am I the only one excited? It says by the latter. See, He gave this to us. And then He says, by the latter, that's subjective. By the latter, by His subjective thing. See, you place yourself, you take your mind somewhere. It says He can imagine Himself in a far off place. And the thought that proceeds out of Him goes to a friend and speaks understandingly in the distance. Look at this power we have. For I created Him so. But he who goes objectively must take his person with him, for I also created him so. I want to see what Deep Seek says about this, what it can add to it. And I magnified these two conditions in the spirits of all men. They're in our spirit, objective and subjective. So we can really experience this subjectivism and take ourselves places. Oh man, you're killing me. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Let me see. The brother's got something else. Now he gonna finish the job on me. Osiris 6:24. Osiris 6:24. Man, oh man, I gotta take a break. I can't. Oh man, wow. Book of Osiris 6:24. Okay. Good grief, man. Wow. 624. Osiris 624. Osiris 624. For Osiris 624. For I created progress to be in compact. Nor did I give to any person individual salvation or resurrection, so that men could learn the advantage of compact. Yeah, that's why we do the soul confirmations together. That's one thing. So that men can learn the advantage of compact. For I created the progress to be in combat together. For I created progress to be in together, unity, togetherness, compact. Nor did I give to any person or individual salvation or resurrection, so that men could learn the advantage of compact. See, to be together, to be a tribe. I cause mortals to have a corporal. See, I cause mortals to have corporal languages and to live in cities, corporal languages and to live in cities, so that you in atmosphere could learn the all perfection of being one with one another. I gave you the second resurrection, teaching you through my gods and lords to abnegate self-aspiration, meaning to be selfless towards one another. For self-aspiration is at the expense of others, but commanding you to learn to assimilate with one another. And I give rites and ceremonies, among which was the oath of service to me in my kingdoms, and none other in which many bound themselves, which was and is the beginning of liberty. Touching this matter, I created types, meaning of rites and ceremonies on earth and in the lower heavens, so that even the unlearned might understand me and my works. For to him who begets children, I gave bondage to them, and to him conjointly. But this is a bondage that does not circumvent liberty in time to come, for they can ascend to heaven and progress conjointly. Wow, together. Better than alone. Progress together rather than alone. But some gave themselves up to love earthly things, such as houses, money, and kingdoms, which things have no resurrection. Therefore, such bondage holds a person after death to the thing that he loved. That's a good point. Remember, it talks about the banker. He stays at his bank. You see, Daryl's got something. He said, remember, we talked about that the other day. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember. Earthly attachments. Similarly, many have set up kingdoms in the lower heavens, but binding themselves to things that have no higher resurrection, which things belong in the plateau of atmosphere where I created them. But to them who have bound themselves to their fellows, saying, I am the salvation. It's like a young man saying to a maiden, come, I will be your husband. And she goes to him in confidence. Here then is the bondage. She holds him as the way of her salvation. Neither can he alone annul that which he has been united. Nor yet can they together annul this, for by their bondage I am also a party to the contract. See, Daryl says, yeah, six generations, parents bound to their progeny. My goodness, man. My goodness. My goodness, man. How can I? Oh, man. Oh, okay. I gotta go back to the reading, man. This is too much. This is too much, man. For we are living in an ocean. Let me see. Daryl says, read 28. Read 28. He says, in like manner, they who assume kingdoms professing to be gods of salvation and thus enticing our innocent ones to themselves become bound, not only to their subjects, but to the contract of deliverance and salvation, for so I created them. So, let's see, in the same way, those who assume, in the same way, he's saying, as the above verses, those who assume kingdoms professing to be gods of salvation and thus enticing my innocent ones to themselves, they become bound, not only to their subjects, but to the contract of deliverance and salvation, for so I created them. So, false gods, beast kingdom gods, they have to deliver their subjects before they deliver themselves. If they don't make it out of the beast while they're in the corporality, for the good or the evil, there's a compact. Okay, let me get back to the reading. This is just, boy, thank you, Jehovah. This is a fantastic video for the encouraging information that's coming out. I just can't thank you enough, man. I just can't thank you enough. We are living in an invisible ocean of mind. And oh, man. Oh, wow. And through this ocean, our thought waves proceed to the one to whom they are directed, just as the radio waves vibrate out from the transmitter to the receiver, situated at a distance of thousands of miles. As it is possible to send electrical impulses through space without wires, so may we send thought impulses from one mind to another, no matter how far apart they may be. For many years, we have seen the practical healing and uplifting effects of sending out positive thoughts to those who are subject to the influence of negative thoughts. Through the use of affirmations, you have gained a clear idea of yourself as the center of spiritual power. Now use this power creatively today by affirming all together now on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am a soul of intelligence, alive with the healing life of the ever-present. You are an active spiritual magnet, and you can consciously attract from the soul and nature of the universe all that you need. Let me read that again. You are an active spiritual magnet. You are an active spiritual magnet. You are an active spiritual magnet. I am an active spiritual magnet. And I can consciously attract from the soul and native of the universe all that I need for the growth of a noble, strong, and healthy me, healthy individual. The supply of healing life and intelligence is equal to your demand. It will manifest as you learn how to exercise and express the attractive powers, the attractive powers, the attractive powers, the attractive powers let's see, the attractive powers of your mind. Affirmations of spiritual principles make those principles affirmations of spiritual principles make those principles active. Affirmations of spiritual principles. You keep repeating spiritual principles, and it makes those principles active. Keep repeating spiritual principles. I'm translating. Keep repeating spiritual principles, and you make those principles active and potent in your conscious life. By means of affirmations, you can call forth the latent powers of your soul and gain that self-confidence and poise, which is the foundation of spiritual strength. Think of yourself as a spiritual magnet, radiating goodwill to every human being and sustain the idea by repeating this affirmation frequently. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I am a center of radiance and the source of supply. I'm the center of radiance and the source of supply. You will notice if you watch how your own mind is reacting each day to the minds around you, that you are more influenced by negative and disturbing thought currents and atmospheres than you would have believed possible. You will also notice that the daily affirmations help you to overcome any adverse mental or physical conditions. Remember today the truth to yourself as a temple of the living Creator and glorify your temple by affirming from hour to hour. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I am receiving and radiating the blessings of divine love. By the use of these daily affirmations, you are learning to identify yourself with your eternal being and spirit of your soul. Thus, you rise above the negative and depressing thought currents which fill this mental atmosphere of the world. You grow positive in the expression of those forces of your soul which can act intelligently to overcome negative conditions of body or affairs. Sustain this positive affirmation to help your soul express the vitality and power to overcome undesirable conditions. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I have faith in the perfecting presence of my Almighty Creator. Sickness, misery, and failure are not positive forces. They represent a lack of vitality, wisdom, and executive ability. You can overcome these negative conditions by developing vigor of soul, intuitive intelligence, and executive ability. These daily affirmations will develop a strong and substantial faith. These daily affirmations will develop a strong and substantial faith and give you the force of character necessary to execute all you design. Attune your mind to the optimistic mood which prevails today by affirming on 3. 1, 2, 3. My mind is filled with the light and joy of creative thought, and I inspire confidence and courage with every breath I breathe. We have found within our souls the presence of wisdom and power which seekers after the Creator have worshipped as afar. We have learned that we have only to use the will and intelligence we now possess, and we will realize the unlimited depth of the Creator's power within our souls. Therefore, we endeavor to remember from hour to hour that we are the sons and daughters of the Almighty, and to think and act from the divine dignity and strength of our true immortal natures. Let's affirm together on 3. 1, 2, 3. We walk together in the majesty and might of the sons and daughters of the Creator. The conflicting and inharmonious mental conditions of this day can be subdued by sustaining the sense of unity with the divine will in the soul. And by seeking to express His peace and perfection, withdraw your thought from the outer vibrations and retire into the inner intelligence of your soul. Abide in the thought that all wisdom and organizing power is within and expressed from the center of your being. In this calm communion, your faith will be satisfied to affirm on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. We will need to be positive in our united faith today to overcome the chaotic states of mind that prevail among discordant human beings. We desire to move in unison with that omnipotent goodwill which creates the order and harmony of the universe. We desire the Creator's will to express through us that our lives may show forth that perfect purpose. Let this affirmation keep your mind attuned to the presence of peace. On 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Out of the deeps of our souls, we will draw forth the design of divine wisdom. Masterful minds heal weakness and imperfection by their faith in the truth that every human being is a temple of the All-Perfect. They recognize that every cell of every soul is aglow with the intelligence of the organizing will of the Creator. They have confidence that every physical cell can become obedient to the organizing will of the ever-present, whose design is perfection of spirit and form. Attune your mind and body to the mastermind of the universe this day by sustaining the following affirmation and realize the all-perfect healing power. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy organizing will be done through all my thoughts and all my physical cells. Character is destiny for body and soul, and character is formed by the thoughts, feelings, and volitions that one creates from hour to hour. A new body, a new character, and a more successful destiny is possible for everyone who would develop the latent intelligence and ability of his soul by the use of creative affirmations. See, we can make up our own. Remembering that you are a temple of the ever-present. Affirm on 3. 1, 2, 3. I will feel the intelligence and ability to plan and create a successful destiny. Permitting the mind to reflect the disturbed thoughts and feelings which prevail in the world is a cause of inharmony and disease in the cells of the physical body. This is a perversion that keeps the mind from reflecting the spiritual life and peace which are our inheritance from the mighty spirit dwelling within our souls. Keep your mind positive to the disturbing and chaotic mental vibrations which prevail in the world by affirming frequently. On 3. 1, 2, 3, I will reflect upon the principles of truth and beauty and feel the healing inspiration of the Almighty. And feel the healing inspiration of the Almighty. What does your mind reflect? Discord or harmony? Disease or health? That's a good question. Is your constant thought of material things making you obtuse and unresponsive to spiritual thoughts and feelings which give life and restore health? You need to give some time and thought daily to contemplating the revelations of spiritual principles which mystics and seers have perceived and revealed for the feeding and strengthening of one's spirit. Familiarize your mind with the thought that you are a spiritual being, a form of the spirit of the I Am, imbued with that life and intelligence. You will become aware that this thought is life-giving and produces a peaceful, healing effect in your mind. Sustain this thought today. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I am an immortal spirit, and the inspiration of the Almighty is my understanding. The inspiration of the Almighty is my understanding. Think of the harmony of the spirits that float in space, revealing the wisdom and power of the eternal being. As your mind is lifted above material disturbances by contemplating the thought of the spirit that pervades and governs the whole, you will reflect that spirit, and your spirit will begin to enjoy eternal life and peace. Let this thought lift your mind in praise of your Creator this day. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I will praise thee, thou eternal one, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. The mind is a reflective organ, and take the mind as a reflective organ and takes upon itself the character of whatever it reflects upon. As a mirror can reflect ugliness or beauty, so that mind can reflect order or discord, health or disease. And the sympathetic nervous system will carry these images to every cell in the body. To attain permanent spiritual harmony and health, it is necessary to learn how to meditate upon the harmonious creation of the Almighty. These daily meditations provide the first steps in that direction. Through these means, the mind is provided with word pictures revealing the beauty, order, harmony, wisdom, and love of the divine mind, and it reflects these spiritual principles into all mental and physical conditions. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Joyous strength and healing power vibrate through me every hour. This is a most favorable day for doing the will of the Creator and for practicing goodwill in all your ways. Relax from mental strain and enjoy living from the spontaneity of your soul's life and inspiration. Let the Spirit express through you as a cheerful, good feeling for every person you contact. There is healing in enjoyment. There is healing in enjoyment. Happiness is health restoring. The Creator loves to live in you and express that life and intelligence through you. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I will see and enjoy the spirit of the ever-presence that shines as intelligence through every human temple. Do as much good as you can, and you will reap good from your sowing. Here is a pleasure that many persons miss, the pleasure of doing good. It is a pleasure of wholesome, healthy soul. You can do good very powerfully by quietly and enjoyably blessing the sick and sorrowing with the peace and joy and sorrowing with the peace and joy of your soul. Thus, you enlarge your soul's sphere of influence and increase your soul capacity for permanent happiness and health in order to change our attitudes and actions. We must first change our thoughts. On three, ready? 1, 2, 3. Living Creator, I enjoy living thy life and blessing my friends in the power of thy mighty goodwill. 2 more times, because this is going to be our soul confirmation for the end of the video. Again, 1, 2, 3. Living Creator, I enjoy living thy life and blessing my friends in the power of thy mighty goodwill. Again, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Living Creator, I enjoy living thy life and blessing my friends in the power of thy mighty goodwill. And brethren, that will conclude the reading of this word. So, Jehovah, I thank you for answering my prayer to be able to share something that will bless my brethren. Indeed, this has been an incredible video for the information that you allowed to be brought out. And I thank you. Very encouraging, very informational. It is very uplifting the way you are telling us of the power that we have. We learned earlier in the video about the subjective and objective mind that you have given us and the power that we can have to transport ourselves to places of great desire for our own blessing. You showed us and told us that. Let us take advantage of that. Let us take advantage of that. Thank you, Creator, for my brethren and the time that we spent together. And I pray for my brethren and unspoken prayer that situations that brethren are going through. Thank you for showing us that we can take our minds and direct good thoughts towards our brethren, and we can take part in the healing of their situation through our mind. No matter where we are, we can transmit subjectively, no matter where we are, with one another, towards one another. Thank you, Creator, for that, for letting us know that we can take charge if we can just continue and just be consistent and endure, that we can avail ourselves of this great power that you've given us. There are so many things so much that you've given us, we can't even fit it all in to the times that we have together. There's just too much you've given us. So, Creator, thank you for sharing with us that we are spiritual, we have power. We learned a little bit about our mind as a mirror, reflecting that which we bring to its attention, whether for good or whether for other than good, that our mind is a mirror, you taught us. Thank you for this lesson. I pray you bless my brother. And until we meet again over in this or through this channel, through our channel, Creator, Eoe, thank you in your name. So let it be. All right, brethren, that's the best I can do for right now. Thank you for joining me. Real pleasure. I don't think, let me put the link in the room. I'll hang out for about 30 more seconds. And if anybody wants to come on and say anything about what we talked about, you're more than welcome. Just because I'm ending the video here, it doesn't mean that if you have something that you want to share that you can't do it, you absolutely, I'm willing to hang out. So there's a link in the room. If anybody has any thoughts or anything, you want to say something, feel free. Brethren, oh man, the thing, if I may say so, the thing that sticks out of my mind It's what the Creator said about our own mind, our subjectivity, our objectivity, and how we can take the way that we can transport ourselves, to different to places of the mind, how we can transport, if that's a good word, telepathically transmit thoughts to brethren, friends, family. That really grabbed me, man. And I believe it. It may not seem that we have the result. I just believe that when it comes to this, I think endurance is key. You just keep doing it. You just keep doing it, no matter if you get results that you think you ought to get or not. I think the key, man, is just to keep practicing, keep doing it. Soul confirmations and just uh, any, we learn too many spiritual principles, really. But if you can grab hold of like one or two and just, like make a template, like something you can do every day, I think that is key, man. We learned about the world, the effect the world has on us. You brethren already knew that. But the fact that the Creator is telling us that we have to be proactive, take our mind and go on the defense against the vibration of the earth. So it's a lot that can be said, man, And brother, that's it. That's the best I can do for right now. Thank you for joining me, brethren. Tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. Thank you. And oh shoot, I know I'm forgetting something. I am forgetting something, and I'm gonna remember it right after I get finished with the video. Yep, can't remember. All right, brethren, thanks for joining me. And until I see you again on video tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. Peace be unto you all. Shalom.